Welcome to another episode of the Tobago House of Assembly's Post-Executive Council Media Briefing. This week, the Chief Secretary, who's also the Secretary for Education, Innovation and Energy, Kelvin Charles, addresses the media.
I wish to advise that the Executive Council today would have approved the appointment of a technical review committee, and that is with respect to the execution of a pending IADB loan for the construction of 5 ECCE schools. This is the first time that the Tobago House of Assembly is going to be the executing agency for an IADB loan. Normally it would be done through, as the matter involves education, or through the Ministry of Education. But after some discussion, some negotiation, it was eventually decided that the THA would be responsible on this occasion. But part of the protocol of best practice requires a mechanism such as this, which would be responsible for oversight and ensuring that any gaps can be effectively bridged. Now, the loan has not yet been fully approved, but one of the conditions for its approval is the institution of this mechanism to which I referred. I also wish to take this opportunity to advise the Tobago as well as the national community that at 3 o'clock today, there shall be the commissioning or the opening of a children's play park by TSTT at Robert Trace Extension, New Grange Development, Susulands. Now, you may recall that the THA would have provided this piece of land for the authority to establish its mechanism for monitoring what is happening in respect of telecommunications. And part of the agreement or arrangement was that for the community, there would be the establishment of this play park facility. So it has come to fruition and it shall be officially opened today. I advise as well that the graduation ceremony for the first cohort of the construction certification program, one which began last year, February, will take place on Thursday, the 17th of January at the Roxborough Trade Center. In all, 29 persons will receive their Level 1 National Examination Council certificate at this ceremony. It is due to begin at 1:30 p.m. May I remind you that this initiative was one designed to allow a number of our artisans to acquire formal qualifications that will not only ensure that if they leave Trinidad and Tobago, they can gain employment in other parts of the Caribbean, but it was also designed to empower them so that if they wish, they can go into business, or on the other hand, they can ensure that they can position themselves in respect of skilled employment. Ladies and gentlemen, the Division of Education, Innovation and Energy proposes to operate, at least on a pilot basis initially, a Learning Enrichment Centre. And that centre will be located at building number 13 at Hope Farm Road. We expect to commission that building at 10 a.m. on the 21st. The center will provide support for students who are on suspension, students who have committed multiple offenses, and students who are in danger of being expelled. So that these students who in the past would have been suspended from school and would have perhaps remained at home or elsewhere, unsupervised, unoccupied, we are saying that we are moving to provide a safe place for them where they will be provided with relevant activities for their rehabilitation, as well as the necessary social service support to facilitate a smooth re-entry into the classroom and into the school. Now, I take this opportunity to make an appeal to all Tobagonians in particular, that after extensive discussions with the University of Trinidad and Tobago, there are 2 programs currently being advertised, and the plan was to have these programs begin in January. One program is a certificate program in food technology. To date, only 4 persons have applied, and we are asking all interested persons to go online to the UTT website and apply immediately, because we need at least 15 persons to bring this program to Tobago. And you know, this is consistent with our thrust of empowering our persons here in Tobago, because as you may recall, in respect of the vocational program run by the Division of Community Development, Enterprise Development and Labor, we have a number of persons graduating there with some basic skill sets. Additionally, because agriculture is one of those areas that we are giving emphasis, we also want to ensure that persons have the technical skills to engage the activity of food processing. Generally, we call it agro processing. There's another program which we really want to launch in Tobago because the resources are in Tobago, and that is a bachelor's program in marine sciences. Such a course is offered in Trinidad, but interestingly, they come to Tobago because we have excellent reefs here to do their research and their practicums. So we are saying that if we can get some of our own Tobagonians to pursue this program, that will be a wonderful opportunity. In addition, once we get the program going, it means we can use that as a base to attract international students, graduate students who are interested in research, marine research. And of course, you can begin to understand the benefits that will accrue to the island in respect of the hospitality sector. Yes, because those persons who are coming would have to have some place to stay. And in addition to that, they are coming with Forex, foreign exchange. So that's all part of the thinking and the planning. The other initiative which we are hoping to bring on stream in the month of February has to do with an accelerated learning program for students of Standard 3 and Standard 4. And the purpose of this program is really to challenge our students to a higher level of, as they say, cognitive learning, which will eventually allow them to improve their academic performance. As you're aware, we have not had for some time any one of our C students achieving marks that will put them in the first 200. The person who comes first in Tobago is usually 2,000 and something place. We are saying we feel that we have our students who can do much better, and all they need is some coaching and some additional work to prepare them for that. Ladies and gentlemen, as you undoubtedly are aware, there is some excitement in the air. Because yesterday we saw really what unbridled ambition, political treachery, and hypocrisy has done to the people, especially the young people of Tobago. We were dealt a devastating blow. I speak of the withdrawal by Sandals, an international brand with Caribbean roots, of their original intention to manage and operate a 5-star hotel facility in Tobago. This decision, regrettably, was caused by relentless negativity and its consequential impact on the Sandals brand. We have muddied our waters. May I repeat that? We have muddied our waters. Thanks, of course, to the minority leader, Watson Duke, and his friends. I submit that yesterday was not just the withdrawal of Sandals, but if one were to wax a little poetic, what one saw yesterday are hundreds, in fact thousands, of job opportunities walking away. As you know, we have a minimum of about 800 students every year leaving secondary schools. Of course, some would go on to A-levels and so on. Some may go back to repeat. But many leave looking for jobs. Thousands of jobs have just evaporated into thin air or have dissipated like thin clouds. What one sees are thousands of Tobagonians and Trinidadians literally being robbed of the chance to earn a decent living and to take care of their families in circumstances where there is an urgent need to provide additional job opportunities or additional opportunities for persons to engage in purposeful economic activity. Because as we all are aware, there is the urgent imperative for Trinidad and Tobago to diversify away from oil and gas because of the uncertainty and the volatility of that particular sector. What one saw yesterday was a missed opportunity to proceed along that diversification route, particularly in respect of Tobago. What one saw was a missed opportunity to earn valuable foreign exchange in a couple of years. And what one saw was a missed opportunity to provide a fillip or a boost to related sectors of the Tobago economy. Agriculture, light manufacturing, for example, construction, general services, etc. You may recall that not too long ago, there was a lament that our tourism industry was in need of a proverbial shot in the arm, and that the country was too dependent on oil and gas. It was like a monocrop. Sandals, ladies and gentlemen, was a golden opportunity. 5,000 direct jobs gone at the stroke of a pen after more than 2 years of engagement. 1,000 high-end 5-star rooms gone, just so. And may I advise you or share with you that Sandals as a premium brand, the rooms rate from a minimum of 700 United States dollars a night to as high as 2,000 United States dollars a night. Sandals would have provided a golden opportunity to enhance our general tourism product and our approach to our customer service delivery, because it has happened everywhere they go, because they usually stand out in respect generally of the quality of the service they provide. As you know, ladies and gentlemen, you can copy a technology. It is infinitely more difficult to copy or emulate a culture, a service culture. And that is what sets Sandals apart. It was a golden opportunity to encourage and develop backward linkages to agriculture, for example. There would also have been benefits to other hoteliers, owners of restaurants, and other service providers, taxi drivers, tour guides, reef tour operators, etc. In fact, the research would indicate that after Sandals went to Grenada, that encouraged additional investment in the hotel sector, high class and high quality rooms as part of that arrangement. Airlift. There were airlines that would have gone into Grenada once a week. Those airlines, for example, American Airlines and JetBlue, etc., are now making 2 and 3 trips a day. I was in Grenada around August last year, and that period is generally considered low occupancy, right, in the hotel sector. And at that time, because I visited Sandals and had a conversation with the general manager, occupancy was about 83% at that time. In fact, I am told that Grenada boasts of having upwards of between 400 and 500,000 visitors for 2018. We could have only boasted, if indeed it was a boast, of a marginal increase in our international arrivals 2018 over 2017. So that, sadly, whilst others are maximizing the opportunities that Sandals brings to their islands, we are playing smart as they say, with foolishness and politics, peddling lies and misinformation. For example, notwithstanding the repeated comments to the contrary, persons kept saying that the hotel will be built on no man's land. Repeatedly, every official spokesperson was saying that is not so. But such was the agenda, and such was the attempt to create confusion in the minds of the ordinary resident of Tobago, the ordinary citizen of Trinidad and Tobago, that they didn't care about the possible effects of what they were doing. Incidentally, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you are aware that I think it was in March 2006 that the Angostura development was given a CEC for the construction of 2 hotels that would have, at the level of the aggregate or the sum total, provided 700 rooms in the general facility, general area. And along with, I think, a 19-hole golf course and all of that, along with mitigating measures to treat with any adverse impact on the environment. That is part of the history, it's part of the record, it can be researched and found. That notwithstanding, persons were peddling the view that the ecology and the environment would have been threatened. Even though Sandals has a history of getting awards for its approach to environmental sustainability everywhere it goes. So, my friends, you know, if it wasn't so serious, it would have been a joke. On the one hand, we had the minority leader over the years and over time saying Sandals shouldn't come. Or if they're coming, they should be built, Sandals should be built on Carrera Island. That's on the record. And of course, there was a video yesterday showing the minority leader in his glee, clapping. Clapping. Could you imagine that, ladies and gentlemen? When jobs are at stake, he's clapping. And he doubles as a union leader. And may I remind you, I would have placed on the record in the House where not too long ago, Trinidad and Tobago lost approximately 300 high-quality IT jobs because a Canadian firm, representatives of that firm, came to Trinidad to pursue that investment. The day that they came, as fate would have it, was the day when the immigration officers and so on at PRCO went on strike. That is what they were faced with. It was a Diana Mahabia's account, because she wrote about it, because they had a conversation with her. And at the end of which they said, well, this is not the environment or the place where we will invest our money. We'll go to Barbados. So the pattern has emerged and is continuing. But ladies and gentlemen, if you were to take a flight or a trip into fantasy or fiction, could you imagine, because I'm sure all of you would have seen the video, that at the end of it, he's saying, well, when good governance takes over, whatever that means in English, we will get Sandals to come back. Not in direct words, but in essence, that is what he's saying. And we will negotiate with them. He must take Sandals over. But let's face it. If something is not good, it's not good. It can't be, it's not good when it is in my hands. But when it is in your hand, the same thing, it is good. Where is the logic? I have never seen such nonsense. As a matter of fact, when I looked at that video, I cringed to know that that is going all over the world. And people would be looking at that in the context of the person speaking, aspiring to lead this island. If it's one thing that video demonstrated was the height of hypocrisy and disingenuity that characterizes the personality or the mind behind it. I must also make the point that there was an attempt in that video to denigrate jobs. You're talking about taxi drivers and bellboys in such disparaging ways. What is wrong with somebody being a bellboy? If that person so wishes to be. Once it's an honest day's job and an honest activity. I recall, reading some time ago the story where this person was saying they were so impressed because they were in a particular place and there was this gardener pruning the lawn and keeping the environment clean. But more than that, he was doing it with such pride, as though it was the most important job in the world. The moral of that story is that whatever occupation we do as part of making a living, nothing is wrong with it. Once we do it honestly, we do it to the best of our ability, we do it with pride, and we do it as though it brings love and glory to those who will enjoy it.
Thank you for staying with us for the Tobago House of Assembly's Post-Executive Council Media Briefing for the week ending January 19th, 2019.